As you know, at DIA we love football, and when I watch football on TV, I notice that insurers share the same passion. We see the logos of insurance brands on jerseys and stadiums, from clubs in Asia and the Americas to teams that compete in the Champions League. And millions of fans wear those branded t-shirts across the globe. Now this is one of my favorite books, How Football Can Change the World. It's about the social impact of the beautiful game. Mel Young is doing exactly that, creating an unbelievable social impact with the game of football. Mel is a serial social entrepreneur, and serial also reflects in how he is scaling his innovative concepts around the globe in record time. Very relevant for insurers, since scaling is something many have problems with. Mel has won several awards and was elected into the lifelong Ashoka Fellowship. Since he's from Scotland, I asked Mel, Rangers or Celtic? Hibernian, he said. And looking at the kind of message on their jersey, I completely understand why. We're very honored to have Mel Young with us here today at DIA Prime Time.
Thank you, Roger, for the kind introduction, and thank you for inviting the Homeless World Cup to take part in this virtual conference. I'm here today in our headquarters in Edinburgh, and there's nobody here, and there's been nobody here for months. And this is because this year we had to cancel the Homeless World Cup annual event, and all of our staff are working at home, but working hard at home because we're very committed to the organisation. These are difficult times for everybody, but I want to share some inspiring stories with you. I want you to be inspired, but you'll be surprised at where the inspiration comes from, probably from the least expected area. I want to tell you a story about homeless people and how they've changed your lives, and you will be inspired. Like all good stories, there's the goodies and the baddies, the dark side and the light side. So I need to start with the dark side and just get that part out of the way. There are millions of homeless people in the world, in every country in the world these days. According to the United Nations, there's over 100 million people who are homeless. And as a result of the pandemic, more and more people are becoming homeless. And after the pandemic has finished, there'll be even more people who are homeless. But people were homeless before COVID, and it doesn't matter to the homeless person whether there was a pandemic or not. They're excluded from society. Their situation is not good. They have low self-esteem, low self-respect, little hope, and a feeling of desolation. And this situation pervades everywhere, and it's very, very difficult for people to climb back into society as a result of being homeless. There's a big difference between the word houselessness and the word homelessness. Houselessness is about bricks and mortar. Homelessness is about much more than that. It's about sitting around the fire that you can't do, eating food with the family, seeing your brothers and sisters and your friends in your home. Imagine if you had a situation where you had no home. How would you be feeling? How would your self-esteem be affected as a result of having no home? That's the situation for millions of people around the world, and that's the situation we intend to resolve. The Homeless World Cup works against this background, and we simply use football as a method of changing people's lives. We work around the world in over 70 countries, and in each country we have one partner, and that one partner organisation works with homeless people in their city or in their country. They simply go to where the homeless people are, in the street or in the hostels, and encourage them to get playing football. Football is beautiful because it's a very, very simple game. All we need is a ball, and we encourage homeless people to come and kick a ball in small courts or in the street with people, other street people and other people, and we just simply get them involved. The beauty of the football is that it's a very simple game, and you can have 2 versus 2 or 20 versus 20. You can be very good and not very good in the same team. It's all about participating, and we create an atmosphere where homeless people come and participate, and you can see their confidence starting to grow and emerge. And then our partners work with each individual homeless person, looking at pathways away from the street, into jobs, into houses, coming off drugs and alcohol, getting some qualifications, just coming gently back into society. And at the centre of all that, all the time, is the football. The guys come back and get involved in football. And then, once a year, we have an annual football tournament, which takes place somewhere in the world. Cities bid now to host it, very keen to host our event. and teams come and play at the Homeless World Cup representing their country. We have a week-long tournament where teams of 8, 4 on the pitch, 4 off, play in a street soccer tournament, which is very, very fast, 7 minutes each way with a minute in between. And everybody finds their own level. So it's not a competition where if you lose, you go home. If you lose, you stay and you find your own level. So the top teams or the better teams are playing against one another, and the not so good teams end up playing against one another. And it's a fantastic tournament where competition is real, teams want to win, but it's played in the spirit of fairness. Everyone's included, nobody gets thrown out, everyone's part. And at the end of the week, everybody gets the same medal, no matter whether they finished first or 48th. And there's now a men's and women's tournaments. And then people come to watch. We build stands in the city centre. People come to watch. Lots of excitement. The world's media turns up. And there's just this fantastic atmosphere. And as a result of that, we get 3 changes going on. One, crucially, the homeless person themselves can change out of all recognition and change their lives as they get self-respect and self-esteem in doses filling their body. The crowds that come to work will never look at homeless people again because all they can see is footballers who are trying their best. And thirdly, the world's media come and project the stories of the individual lives, the positive lives of these homeless people, and the stereotypical view is destroyed. So together we're about creating change. But our annual event is fantastic. The atmosphere is incredible. The stories of the player, the camaraderie, the atmosphere that spreads throughout the little stadiums that we create is absolutely fantastic. But critical for us, all the work that goes on all the year round in our partner countries is key to that moment. We've created a pyramid organisation, if you like, which is all about change, using football to end homelessness. The key part of what we're doing is about changing people's lives. And there are thousands upon thousands of stories of homeless people who've used the football, used the Homeless World Cup to change their lives. 1.2 million people's lives have been affected since we started across the world. So our impact is huge. But it's the human interest stories that people want to hear. And people often ask me about, how does football work when somebody's lying on the street? So there's nobody better than telling the stories than the homeless people themselves. And now we have 2 players who are going to tell their story about how it's changed their lives.
La problemática de mi barrio siempre era la prostitución, la drogadicción. Siempre me vi inversa en ella, ya que en mi comunidad prevalece mucho esa problemática. Fútbol con Corazón nos ha ayudado a poder estudiar. Todas las del equipo estamos estudiando una carrera profesional. Estoy estudiando psicología por las distintas problemáticas que tuve en mi barrio. Quiero ayudar a distintos jóvenes que en ese momento yo no tuve ayuda alguna. Hoy por hoy Colombia quiere traer a la Copa una alegría de Barranquilla, alegría de Colombia, que estamos haciendo un acto antes de cada uno de los partidos, mostrándonos que tenemos talento y tenemos actitud y queremos transferir toda esa energía que tenemos a cada uno de los países y así mismo poder tener esa hermandad y tener un partido de sana convivencia.
Somos los colombianos y le traemos buen ambiente. Pero que huepa, huepa. Huepa, huepa. Huepa,
Bueno, precisamente en el baile soy la persona que va adelante. Me han elegido el equipo por tener esa actitud, esa motivación. Siempre está animando a las compañeras sin pensar en las dificultades o en los resultados que tengamos. Al llegar al fútbol a mi vida, me muestra la motivación, la alegría, la actitud, la resiliencia de poder seguir adelante paso a paso y que puedo influir positivamente en mi barrio.
My past has been quite rough. Grew up in quite a rough neighbourhood, gang fighting, quite a lot of drugs, alcohol, and that's where my life, it went down. I don't know how low I got. The Homeless World Cup, the street soccer programme, it's probably saved my life, and I start dealing with things in the way that I should be dealing with them. For me, that's probably one of the biggest things and achievements in my life. It's great in the experience. I don't want it to end. Even if I'm a player, I want to be a football coach. I still like to support my team from the sides, give them directions, and that's why I want to be a coach. I think I'm quite good at it, and it doesn't matter if I don't play, if I'm involved with the team. It's amazing. From 20 months ago, sleeping on a street, I'm giving my all. I'll give 110%. No matter if I'm on the park as a player or standing to the side supporting as a coach and represent my country. What more could you ask for? Now, I can look in the mirror now and not see somebody that hates herself and doesn't want to be here. And look in the mirror and say, no, you're not a bad person. And it's good that I can go to my bed at night and not need to worry about what is going to happen the next day. That's all I want.
We've had a huge success of the Homeless World Cup since we started in 2003. We came up with this idea in a bar in Cape Town in 2001. We put the first event on in Graz in Austria in 2003. We didn't know how successful it was going to be. It was a big risk. Some people said that we were crazy, but the event was hugely successful. Three things changed. First of all, the homeless people themselves you could see changing. Secondly, people around filled the little stadiums we created and were applauding the players. Normally they would walk past homeless players. Now they were applauding them. And thirdly, the world's media turned up. And so as a result of that, and we did research into what was happening with the players, and a huge percentage of them had changed their lives, got jobs into houses, etc. And that's what mattered to us. And as a result of that, we've kept doing the event. And now what happens is cities around the world bid to host it, and we've been all over the place. We were in Cape Town in 2006. Desmond Tutu came on his 75th birthday, and it was fantastic. Huge crowds there. Then we were in Copacabana Beach in 2010, in Melbourne 2008 before that. Huge legacy starting off Melbourne, but a legacy of street soccer programs starting all across Australia. We were in Mexico City in 2012, had the biggest crowds there. 168,000 people came to watch over the week. Fantastic atmosphere. We were in Santiago a couple of years after that. Amsterdam, where the conference was supposed to be in 2015, which was huge success. The King of Holland came and started the event by scoring a penalty when everybody else missed. A special moment. And then last year we were in Cardiff. This year we've had to cancel along with everything else. It's presenting us with some challenge, but we are a resilient, innovative, determined organisation, so our events will reappear in the future. People ask me how we've grown, how we run the whole organisation. How did we go from 2001 having an idea in a bar now to being a global organisation across the whole world? Well, we have a small headquarters. We've kept the headquarters deliberately small, which is financed by some sponsors and partners. And what we've done is created a network. So we have one partner per country across the world in over 70 countries around the world. Those 70 are autonomous, independent, but sign up to our charter in terms of who they're working with and getting teams to the Homeless World Cup. And then the third ingredient of our business is that cities bid to host the Homeless World Cup in the same way that cities bid to host the Olympics or the FIFA World Cup. And then those costs are covered by that national government, by the city government, and by national sponsors in that country. And the city pays from the moment the players arrive until they leave, covering the food and the building of the stadium and the marketing and the accommodation and so on is covered by the host city in the same way as other big sporting events would do. So that's the way we operate, and that's the way we've grown actually. It's based on some fundamentals which are about trust between the organizations, between a key understanding of what our purpose is. Together we have the same passion, the same vision, the same belief. And the beauty is that football is a very, very simple word, simple language that everybody understands. So we connect through that. We can't necessarily speak the same language. We have this shared vision. We come together, and it's a force that has grown considerably and continues to grow in the future. If I was advising an insurance company about how to grow at the moment in this COVID situation and post-COVID, I would be giving 2 or 3 pieces of advice. One of them would be, it's about purpose, being absolutely very clear what your purpose is above just making money, because that's where the world's going. That's where people's values are shifting. Yes, we want business and successful business, but we don't want it solely on the basis of just making money for money's sake. So that will be key. Companies that understand that in the future will be really successful. The second part in terms of growth globally is about creating partnerships, genuine partnerships, not partnerships that are just bits of paper, but genuine partnerships that where the partners believe in the purpose as well, share the vision. It's also about being flexible, being very, very smart on the tech side, and then critically aligning that to a brand. So one of the things the Homeless World Cup has been successful at is that brand, those words, the shape of the goal. People connect with it, understand what it is immediately, and that's very, very strong. So getting that brand, that purpose, that vision, key partners all played together is very, very important. And I think as well, post-COVID, people are going to understand the important role insurance will play, because we don't know when there's going to be another pandemic or another shock to the system. Therefore, protecting ourselves is going to be very, very important. So actually, there's an opportunity here for the insurance industry to do something very, very important to protect us all as human beings in the future. The future of the Homeless World Cup is strong. We have plans to develop 3 regions of the world: Africa, Asia, and South America. We have a proof of concept in terms of what we're doing actually changes people's lives. So given that there's going to be so many more homeless people, so we will be doing more. We will be building our annual event. As soon as this pandemic clears, we might be doing some regional events. We want to build quality into our organization, and we will be embracing technology as well. With that, to make that happen, we need partners, we need new sponsors, we need people who come to us. And if anybody's interested, I would love to talk to you, and please connect with us. And together we can build genuine partnerships which can create change.
It's only a ball. Why run after it? Why worry about saving it? Why waste so much energy or even dedicate your life to it? Because this is not about a ball. It's about commitment, passion, respect. It's about no matter how hard your life has been, leaving your worries behind and giving all you have, putting your heart into it. It's about us.
At the beginning of this presentation, I said that you would be inspired. So I hope you have been inspired by the Homeless World Cup story. But more importantly, I hope you've been inspired by the homeless people themselves who have a real story to tell. A lot of them have been in very difficult circumstances and they've changed their lives as a result. They're an inspiration to us all because despite your circumstances, whatever they are, you can see that they can change your lives. So whatever difficulties we're all having, we can create change and we can be inspired and support each other to create change. We want to create a world where there's no homelessness. Let's do that together. It'd be lovely to hear from you. Great speaking to you. Thank you very much for inviting me along.